Okay, this is the examiner's report for January 2010, Ella2, analysing speech. Okay, so candidates generally answered this question well, and there were some very positive responses seen. Overall, it was felt there was a significant improvement in the quality of responses in this series, and there were relatively few imbalanced responses to the texts. There's a reminder to keep it balanced, so A, B, A, B, B, A, whatever. Every single paragraph you include text A and text B. The majority of candidates were able to range freely between text A and B and offered integrated comparisons, identifying speech features, giving specific examples and analysing their effects. If you watch any of the other videos, it's specific examples that will get you the points. So picking out something from the text and analysing the effect of that on the audience, whether that be the other speaker or a different audience listening. In the majority of cases, there was a good grasp of the relative context of the text, and candidates often demonstrated a genuine attempt to identify significant features. Analysis of both spontaneous and prepared speech accurately identified a good range of grammatical and stylistic features, and offered clear explanations of how these features contributed in the ways in which speech in the given text operated. Okay, so it's a good range. I've said this before, try and use the framework because then you're getting across the range of terminology and you're including a range of points. Often a good level of detail was supplied to reinforce points made, and there was some thoughtful probing of features. So thoughtful probing is considering the effect in terms of the context and what's going on. It was also encouraging that very few candidates got bogged down in trying to explain the text in terms of theoretical concepts. You won't do this because I haven't taught you it, and they don't add anything to the responses. So if you're looking on any other revision websites and Grice's maxims are mentioned, ignore them. They're for language only students and will not get you any points in this exam. As it says here, they rarely added anything meaningful to the responses, so don't get distracted by theoretical approaches. Okay, so less successful candidates offered more generalised responses, often listing various features without identifying any examples and giving general comments regarding their significance. If you've watched the other videos, you'll see examples of this happening in people's work, but it's suggesting that, for example, fillers are used because it is a spontaneous speech, and ordinarily they are used to give the speaker thinking time or because they're nervous. That is looking at the technique in general. You need to apply it to the extract you've got and consider why they have used a filler in that circumstance that you have selected. Some candidates tended to focus on the analysis of features but made limited reference to the attitudes demonstrated by the speakers. So you need to think about how the character's feeling about the topic they're talking about and how they express that. This should be fairly straightforward to do. If you're analysing, then you're obviously thinking about the point of view they're putting across and how they're making it. So if it's a really strong view about education, such as in the Gordon Brown example of June 2010, then you've got that he uses rule of three and personal pronoun I to point across in a really strong fashion, and think about what that point is. His strong view that education should cater for more people and should provide opportunities for more people. That is something more specific that they've done, rather than saying that he uses rule of three to emphasise his view on education without exploring what that attitude or view is. Others limited their responses by providing a reasonably detailed analysis of text A, but then largely commenting on text B in terms of what features it did not possess. Steer away from that. You've got each of the section frameworks, and so you need to pick some stuff from A and some stuff from B and compare it.